Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. Today's video is going to be the second part of showing you my watch pile, the collection. I think I'll just call it my watch pile collection because I don't want to confuse from my other series, the watch pile that I do. But yeah, this is the second shelf, so it will be a bit of a long video. But before I get into the video, I just wanted to say some point next week before the new year I will have a few videos out. Like I've said, I'll have my Christmas, everything I got for Christmas. I will have top 10. No, I'm not. I'm ranking all of the new releases I watched in this year. Also I'm not gonna do a traditional top 10 most anticipated because there's more than 10 that I'm looking forward to. So I'm just gonna make a list of films that are supposed to come out next year that I'm looking forward to and talk about them. Because it's easier, because I don't want to miss any out, and I want to get some out there that people might not be aware of. And I'm also going to do like a little bit of an update for the new year sort of thing. So I'm going to go through what my schedule is going to be like in the new year, because I had a thought about it, and one of my New Year's resolutions is to make consistent YouTube videos, because they've not been that consistent this year. I'm going to start I'll reveal one thing, but it'll be more detail in the schedule. I'm going to start doing my weekly watch videos again, which I stopped doing a while ago. So I am going to start writing up every film I watch on Letterboxd again, whereas I have only been doing the new releases on there. So I'm going to do that. There's a few other things I'm going to do. I'll tell you the days of the week, schedule-wise, and everything in that video. But I just wanted to let you know what's to come over the next few weeks on my channel. And these will be going up. This is Saturday when I'm doing this. I've done the first part. That will go up on Monday. The second part will go up on Tuesday. So you'll have 2 videos. You should have 3 videos next week, because then on Thursday stroke Friday, I will do everything I got for Christmas. And then next weekend will be the top 10s and stuff. Anyway, I'll get on with it because I've already 2 minutes in and I've not even shown you anything yet. So let's get cracking on. First up, we have The Lighthouse. Now, this was actually in a part. I've started sorting through my films that I'm going to give to CEX and charity, which are in a pile down there, which are going to be done before the new year. I've made a goal to start fresh new year. This was actually in there because I've seen The Northman, and I really didn't like The Northman. But then there's people that really didn't like The Witch and this, but loved The Northman. And as The Northman is the only Robert Eggers film I've seen, I might be the opposite, and I may prefer this and The Witch to like The Northman. So I want to give it a go, because I've heard a lot of praise about it. So I will keep it and I will give it a go eventually. So yeah, that is staying for now, The Lighthouse. Then we have Patterson, which is one I watched probably when it came out, but I can't remember anything about it. It's a Jim Jarmusch film, and it stars Adam Driver. He plays a bus driver, if I remember. But yeah, that was a CEX pickup a while back now. Then we have The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is another one I'm not sure if I'm going to like. I'm not a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos. I didn't care for Poor Things at all. I've not even watched Kinds of Kindness yet. The Lobster was alright, but again, it's one that I'm getting rid of. And the only one I've liked of his really is The Favourite. So I'm in 2 minds. It's got Nicole Kidman, Colin Farrell in. So I'll give it a go at some point, but I don't know whether it will stay or not. Next up, we have Into the Wild, which I believe is one of the picks for my next Watch Pile episode. One that I've started watching a long time ago. It's a Sean Penn film. But I never watched it all the way through, and then I picked it up on Blu-ray since at some point this year. So it's one that I'm keen to watch at some point soon. Then we have Bad Words, which is Jason Bateman comedy, which was also directed by him, about an adult who finds a loophole and manages to get into spelling bees because he wants to, I think it's money or something. I don't know. It's got Catherine Hahn in it as well. It looks like Alison Janney's in it as well. So decent cast. Yeah, this is the American import. I did buy this from CEX, but for some reason it was the American import. But it's region free, so I don't really mind. Then we have Take Shelter, which is the only Jeff Nichols film I've not seen. yeah, because I've seen Mud's Midnight Special, Loving, The Bike Riders, Shotgun Stories. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the only one I've got to see. I love him. He's one of my favourite directors. Mud, Shotgun Stories, Midnight Special are probably my favourites. I like The Bike Riders. Didn't care much for Loving, but I've heard this is one of his best, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Then we have Pearl, one that I've just not got around to watching yet. I enjoyed X, but I'm not a big like heavy gore slasher fan. It doesn't do much for me. But I've heard this is very different from X. It's a prequel, so I might enjoy this more than I enjoyed X. Although I thought X was decent, and then I can watch Maxine as well. Then we have The Last Picture Show, which I believe got a Criterion released last year on 4K, but I got this before and it's been in my pile ever since. I didn't even realise, I don't think this is one that you can get standalone, but I got it on Vinted, and I've heard it's a great film. Then we have The Iron Giant, one that was missing from my childhood. I never watched it when I was a kid growing up. I know a lot of people did. I don't know why, but I've heard it's a fantastic animated film. So it's definitely one that I'm looking forward to checking out. Then we have The White Crow, which is a Ralph Fiennes film about Rudolf Nureyev, who was a ballet dancer who was actually a spy during the Cold War. It's written by David Hare, and he's a fantastic writer. He's really good at doing like spy stuff. So yeah, The White Crow, looking forward to checking that one out. Then we have Berserk, which was bought off of the back of one of Roy's videos, Blue Roy Movies. Go and check him out if you don't already. I'm sure if you're watching my videos, it's likely that you do. But yeah, he said that this was an interesting film. I think it's at Circus, but again, with these indicator releases, they don't tell you anything about it on the back. But I thought I would pick it up because it was going cheap. It's got Joan Crawford in. I've not seen anything with Joan Crawford in, so be interesting to see what this one's like. Then we have A Bridge Too Far, which is one that's been in my collection for a long time, but I've just not got around to watching it. One of my resolutions, you will see what one of them is. But yeah, one that I definitely need to watch. Then we have Midnight Express, which I've heard is a fantastic film. This is part of the Sony Classics label, as you can see. I've got, I think, Gandhi, Stand By Me, I've got Taxi Driver, I can see, all on the same like sort of label. But this has got John Hurt, Randy Quaid, and Alan Parker film, and I've heard excellent things about it. So it's one that I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Then we have Straight Time, which is a Dustin Hoffman film. I think this came out last year, if I remember rightly, when they launched the Warner Archive label in the UK. This was one of the first titles, and I thought I'd get it because I like Dustin Hoffman. I've got most of his films, some of which you'll see in this pile, because he's just one of my favourite actors. This is an early role for Kathy Bates as well. You got Emma Walsh, Gary Busey, Harry Dean Stanton. So yeah, looks like one that I'm going to enjoy, so I'll probably watch that soon. Then we have The Electric Horseman, another one of my favourite actors, Robert Redford. This is the Dutch import, I believe. But yeah, I got quite a lot of his. There's a few films that I've not got of his. I've still not got Butch Cassidy, which I need to get. There's a few, like I say, that I still need to get. But I've got the majority of his films because I just think he's a fantastic actor and director. This is a Sidney Pollack film as well. Also got Jane Fonda in. Yeah, it looks like a decent film, so I'll check that one out at some point as well in the new year. The Warriors, another one that was picked out for my next Watch Pile episode. This is one of my granddad's favourite films. Directed by Walter Hill. Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I think it's about gangs in New York during the night, and that sort of thing. But I'm not too familiar with what it's about. But yeah, it looks decent. Next up, another Robert Redford film. This time he's behind the camera. Ordinary People. Believe he won an Oscar for this. Best Director, maybe? Best Picture, I think it might have got. Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, Judd Hirsch, and Timothy Hutton. So yeah, that's another one that I definitely need to watch. Then we have Raging Bull, which is a Scorsese film. Again, like last video, King of Comedy. Another one that I really need to watch because I love Scorsese. I love when Scorsese and De Niro work together as well. And this is considered one of his best, so definitely got to get on watching that one. Then we have Flash Gordon, which I believe was one of the other picks. I think I had 4 picks, maybe? Can't remember what the other one was. But I'll go back and look at the comments so I'll make sure it's fair. But yeah, I've heard mixed things about this. I know Alan Kermit's Ghost really doesn't like this film. Having watched it a few years ago, not growing up with it. So I don't know, it might be a dated one, might be really cheesy and I don't get on with it. But I've got to give it a go to see what it's like, because it could be one that I actually love. And the last thing, which will shock many, many people, if you don't have not regular viewers of my channel. Sorry, that pile's going to fall over. Probably the biggest, oh well, no, I say that. The next pile's got quite a few. This is going to fall over, so bear with me. I'm just going to try and... It's fallen over. I'm just going to leave it. The biggest missing from my collection, and that's Star Wars. Yes, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I've never been able to really get into it, but I want to try and change that next year. And watch all of the ones in here. I've seen A New Hope, I want to say twice. I've started The Empire Strikes Back, but never got through it, and I've not seen any of the others. So, yeah, it's a nice set. And I'm looking forward to getting to the prequels, but I really need to watch the original trilogy first, because I've heard from a lot of people that grew up with the prequels that they love them, especially the Revenge of the Sith. I've heard is particularly good. So yeah, I've seen the new ones, but they're not great films. But yeah, that's the first 6 films in there, I think. Right, next up we have Amélie, which is a French film from 2001. Remember hearing a lot of good things about this. It's in like a lot of top lists of films, and you know, from the noughties and all that. But yeah, it's one that I've thrown it all over the place. It's one that I want to check out because as I say, I've heard decent things about it. Then we have Little Big Man, another Dustin Hoffman film. Another one of my New Year's resolutions. You'll see, I won't tell you what it is, but this is going to be part of it for sure. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman, Faye Dunaway. Yeah, those are the 2 names that ring a bell for me. Yeah, Western. Yeah, looks decent to me. And then we have another one that's definitely missing. The Godfather trilogy. I don't know why I've not watched these yet. I've got the cheapest box set you could get, the original Blu-ray box set, because I want to watch them first before I think about upgrading them to 4K. I'm sure they're films that I will upgrade to 4K because I'm sure I'm going to love them and that they're going to be worth the upgrade. But you've got quite a lot in this. You've got the first 3 films obviously on Blu-ray, and then you also get an extra one, which is the supplements, which has got all of the bonus features on. I'm not one for bonus features myself, but it's nice that they've got it in this set in case you wanted it, and it's on a separate disc. So yeah, I will give another trilogy that I need to really try and watch in the new year. And then we have this 9 movie Western collection set, which I bought a few years ago really cheap on Amazon Germany. And so far, I've only seen The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, which is one of my favourite Westerns. Love that film. I think I just love the combo of John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart. And Hondo, I think I've seen as well, which is John Wayne. But I don't think I've seen any of the others. I think what else have we got? I'm trying to look because they're all in German. True Grit. I know that's True Grit. I want to say HUD with Paul Newman. El Dorado, which I think is Robert Mitchum and John Wayne. Posse, which I think is Kirk Douglas. Gunfight, the OK Corral. Sons of Katie Elder. And this one up here, I'm not too familiar with what that one is. I'm just trying to look, but it doesn't actually say anything. Oh, it might say here. Bear with me. I think it may say here. 3 Violent People it's called, and it's Charlton Heston in that one. So, yeah, it's definitely a few westerns to dig into. We also have this. I need to get the 3rd one. My Alfred Hitchcock Volume 2 collection. I got this and the second one, the start of this year, the new year, because that was one of my resolutions this year, to watch more Hitchcock films. I've seen all of them ones in the volume 1, all amazing films, incredible films, but I've only watched Family Plot from this one, because these are weaker films, I would say, but again, ones that I need to check out. And once I've seen all of these, I'll try and get my hands on volume 3, because that should have gone down in price now, because it's been out for a while. And then I've got most of his films. I think actually my favourite Hitchcock film isn't even in these sets, because it's North by Northwest, which has just come out on 4K. So that's one I'm going to be keeping my eye on as well. Then we have Videodrome. It's David Cronenberg. It's James Woods in it. Yeah, something to do with the TV channel. Yeah, looks like it from the back. But yeah, what did I watch? David Cronenberg, The Fly. Really liked The Fly. So we've got this one. There's another one. Is Scanners David Cronenberg as well? Yeah, there's just other ones that I need to watch. Who did yeah, no. I was having a bit of I forgot who did The Thing then, but it's John Carpenter, isn't it? Similar sort of thing though. But yeah, Videodrome. Then we have Runaway Train, which is John Voight. And it's based on a script by Akira Kurosawa, so it should be decent. I have heard good things about it. But yeah, John Voight, Eric Roberts, about cons, trying to break away on a train. I think it's they break out of prison by the looks of things, and they get on the train and they're just trying to get away. But the train, the driver has a heart attack. So it can't. It's a bit like the I can't grab it because it's too far away. Unstoppable with Denzel Washington and Chris Pine. That's about a runaway train as well. Yeah, but sounds right up my street. Then we also have High Rise, which is a Ben Wheatley film. I really like Ben Wheatley. Well, I say really like. I like some of his stuff. I think he's had some stuff that, not like he did the Meg 2, which I don't know why he did that. And he did one called In the Earth, which it didn't really interest me, but did this. He did Free Fire, I believe, which I really like as well. I need to get that one. Has something else which is escaping me that I've seen that I really like. But yeah, High Rise, Tom Hiddleston, about high-rise buildings, I think in the 50s or something. A thriller. Oh, Kill List he did, which I've not seen, and Sightseers, which I've not seen, but I've heard good things about. So those are two I need to look out for as well. Next up, we have Broker, which is a Kori Ida, what's his name? Hirokazu film. He did. I think he's done something that I've seen, but I can't remember what it was. There's definitely, I'm sure I've seen one of his films before, but I've heard good things about this, and which is one of the reasons I got it. Yeah, it's got the guy from Parasite in, which, as you know from last video, I've still not seen. But I really am getting into my foreign films a lot more. I really love Korean films. One of my favourite films is Old Boy. So yeah, definitely one to check out in the new year. And then another, I wouldn't say this is a big missing from my collection, because I've seen the one that counts, and that's the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I have seen the first one, and that is one that arguably that counts the most, but I've not seen any of the others yet. So more that I need to check out in the new year. And another set from Warner Brothers, Police Academy again. I've only seen the first one. I need to check out the other 6, because there's 7. I didn't even know there was that many. Because I love my comedies. I love my 80s comedies, and I know some of these films are awful, but sometimes the awful ones are the ones that get me going. So yeah, give those a go in the new year as well. And then the last pile, going quicker than I thought, Dr. Zhivago, David Lean. I was watching Roy's video, his most recent video. Although by the time this video goes up, it probably isn't his most recent video. And he just got this, the HMV Premium one, and he also just got Ryan's Daughter, which if you've seen one of my last videos, I picked that up on DVD in a charity shop as well. I love David Lee. Well, I say I love him. I've only seen Lawrence of Arabia. I watched it one Christmas day. going back a few years now, and I just fell in love with it. If it wasn't as long as it was, I would have probably watched it multiple times by now, because I just think it's a visually a rich film. It's a treat to watch, but it's very long, much the same as this. On all of David Lean's work, I need to check out Brief Encounter, because I know Roy really likes that one as well, and he's praised it a lot, so I need to try and get my hands on that one. And Bridge on the River Kwai, I think it's David Lean as well, so I need to get that. And Passage to India, which is what I think is the last film. I'm probably missing some, but yeah, Dr. Zhivago. Then we have The Fountain with Rachel Weisz and Hugh Jackman. It's a Darren Aronofsky film, and for me, he's very hit and miss. Now, I I wouldn't say love. I really liked Requiem for a Dream. I wouldn't use the word love because of what it's about, but it hooked me. It had me. And what else has he done? I didn't get on with Black Swan that much. I've not seen Mother. It's been a long time since I've seen Noah. In fact, it may show up here at some point, unless I've added it back into the collection. Might be one I need to pull to put in my watch pile. I'm just trying to look out for it now. I know I've got it. Yeah, it's up there. I knew I had it, but it's gone back up there, so I probably need to pull it out because I've not seen it for such a long time. And The Whale. Floored by The Whale. So I'm looking forward to his next one, which is Quote Stealing with Austin Butler. So, but yeah, that's The Fountain. Then we have Flashdance, a classic from the 80s, an Adrian Lyne film, which has got Jennifer Beals in. Yeah, about a dancer that works at a factory. She's a welder. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one. Then we have Kingdom of Heaven. Thank God it's the director's cut, which is apparently the only way to watch this film. I love Ridley Scott, as you know. I think I mentioned it in my last video, so this is one I need to get around to watching. But again, it's 3 hours, so yeah, pretty much over 3 hours. So it's getting the time to sit down and watch it and not fall asleep. Then we have Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which is a Mike Nichols film. In fact, I think it's Mike Nichols' first film, which obviously stars Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. It also has George Segal. Yeah, don't know what it's about, but I've heard it's a classic from the, I want to say, 60s, yeah, mid-60s. So yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to watching. Another classic up next, A Streetcar Named Desire. Marlon Brando. It's an Elia Kazan film. I can't think what else he did. He did James Dean East of Eden, didn't he? Because they're remaking that as a series. Yeah, but I've heard great things about this. So, and this is the original director's cut, it says on the back. So, looking forward to that one. Then we have another classic with Easter Parade. Judy Garland, love Judy Garland. Wizard of Oz, brilliant film. Meet Me in St. Louis, another great film. Probably one I usually watch it in between Christmas and New Year because it's that sort of film. So yeah, that'll be one I probably watch this year because it's been a few years since I watched it. But yeah, Easter, and you got the brilliant Fred Astaire in it as well. So then we have Soylent Green, which I remember now is the other one that was picked for the next episode of the Watch Pile. I think Roy picked this, if I remember rightly. I can't remember though, but it's Charlton Heston. Yeah, I'm hoping, unpopular opinion, this is better than the Omega Man, because I really didn't get on with the Omega Man. Me and my mum sat down and watched it because she said, "Oh yeah, that's a great film." Because obviously, I Am Legend, I love, she loves. And she remembers seeing it when she was younger. But we both watched it and weren't impressed with it. Found it quite slow and boring. So I'm hoping that's not the case of this, because this one looks actually like it would interest me. But yeah, that's Soylent Green. And we have another classic after classic, 2001, The Space Odyssey, Kubrick. Still got quite a few of his films to watch, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know if any of his others will feature in this video. Oh yeah, I think there's one other of his in here. But yeah, another one that I just need to get around to watching. Then we have Yours, Mine and Ours, another one courtesy of Amazon Germany that was going really cheap. This is the original 1968 film with Henry Fonda and Lucille Ball, as well as the 2005 remake with Dennis Quaid and Rene Russo. Yeah, see what they're like. Looks like good, fun family films. Then we have Blue Hawaii, which is the only Elvis film I own. I think it's the only Elvis film available on 4K as far as I'm aware. Also got the excellent Angela Lansbury in this as well. So yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. Now, there's just so many classics that I need to watch. Gone with the Wind. Really want to watch this, but again, 233 minutes. That's a long time. A long time. That's like over 3.5 hours, I think. So yeah, I just need to find an afternoon, probably a Sunday afternoon in the new year, and just sit down, put this on and watch it, I think. The Maltese Falcon, another one that I'm itching to watch because I love Humphrey Bogart. I love noir films, one of my favourite genres. And it's one that I've had sitting in the watch pile for a rather long time now. So I just need to bite the bullet, sit down and watch it one day. If it's not picked, obviously, in one of the videos. Then we have The Car, which is, I want to say it's James Brolin, isn't it? Yep, James Brolin. Again, it's a bit like Jaws. It's about a car that starts attacking people, following people. A bit like Duel as well. Yeah, The Car. See what that's like. Might be alright. Might be really cheesy. Then we have Spartacus, which is the other Kubrick film I was mentioning. Yeah, obviously you've got Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, Peter Ustinov, Gene Simmons, Tony Curtis, a great cast. Charles Lawton. Yeah, just a great cast. Looks like a great film. And the story behind the making of this film is also excellent. As I don't know if you can see, but it was written. Am I right? Yeah, by Dalton Trumbo. And there's a film which I own about Trumbo and the fact that he was blacklisted from Hollywood for being a suspected communist in the 50s. So he stood up to the studios and he wrote this, but they didn't want his name on it. And really good film if you can get a hold of it. It's Bryan Cranston. Trumbo, it is up there somewhere. Yeah, I can see it just there. But Spartacus, I'm looking forward to checking out. Then we have West Side Story, the original. I've seen the new one, which I love. For some reason, I've never watched this. But yeah, I'll try and get that watched in the new year. Then we have Papillon, another Dustin Hoffman film. Steve McQueen, about a prison, an island, I think. Island on a prison, and then they're trying to escape. Yeah, that one looks pretty good as well. And last but certainly not least, we have Zulu. Michael Caine, in his first film, I believe, says and introducing Michael Caine on the back. So this must have been 50s, 64, early 60s. Yeah, war film. Obviously, Zulu and Africa. Yeah, another one that definitely will be checking out in the new year. But yeah, that is it. I think it's about the same as the last video, about the same length, but I hope you're still with me. If you are, thank you for sticking through and watching it till the end. I hope that I wasn't too boring and didn't drone on for too long, because I know that I probably do drone on quite a bit and go off on a tangent sometimes when I think about something. I gotta say it, otherwise, my voice won't get heard, as they say. But that is it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.